Well, thank you, Luke. It's our man Luke Whitney over there, who I'm trying to talk into Cuarto de Kilo. And the next grub or flub. How many are up on the site, bro? So 3 grubs or flubs, where our good friend here, Luke Whitney, Digital Ninja, heads out to local eateries and takes on their food challenges. Grub means he did it, flub means he failed. Okay, we got a teaser. Oh, Pluckers and the Spicy Wing Challenge. Bro. So let me ask you this. Do you enjoy going with the spicy challenge, like the heat challenges, or the size challenges? I notice like there's some that are like enormous helpings of something.
That's kind of the thing with all the other ones. The first 3 I've done,
Uh-huh.
either size, time, or spice.
Oh, timed too. That's another one. Yeah.
This one is all 3 combined.
Oh, it's spice, timed, and size.
Yeah,
15 of their atomic hot in 15 minutes. That's a minute a wing. Wow. And you can't drink anything? Oh, you can't drink water. Well, that actually makes it worse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not as hot as the summer.
There it is. So, of the 3, what is your record?
Of the 3,
Of grubs to flubs? 2 grubs and 1 flub. What'd you flub? Oh, the Big Lou pizza? It's because it's not very good, right? Because it's not that tasty. I mean, it's a big pizza, but it's just not, like I've had Lou's. I'm a pizza connoisseur, man. I really, if you're gonna talk pizza, I'll tell you where to go for the best pizza in town. Florio's, bro. Oh yeah, we gotta go. So good. Yep. What do we got tonight? I'm going to talk a little bit about the weekend forecast. Final days of summer. Incredible. Welcome in. Thursday night, Bill Taylor, Ken's 5 Digital Center. Blessings to you. Blessings to yours. It's a really nice night. The winds this afternoon and this evening have been really breezy to even gusty, 20 to 25 miles per hour earlier this afternoon. So that helps with this heat. Look at the heat that we hit today. What a day. 97 in the city. Our average high this time of year is 89. We should be stopping at 89. How about the triple digits? There's New Braunfels, 100 at Seguin, Gonzales 101 with New Braunfels, 100 Cotulla. Notice it's cooler out west. I say cooler. 96 is not cooler. It's not as hot out west, but definitely hot. Down Highway 90, mid-90s. And then you go east, and that's typically not the case. It's usually flipped because when the air is a little more humid, holding a little more water, you won't get as high with those highs like you see 101, 100 in Seguin. Instead, that would be Del Rio or Eagle Pass, where the air is just a little less humid. But today, not the case. Very interesting. Michael, spill the beans. Where's the pizza spot? It would be Florio's, Broadway at Nottingham. Tell them I sent you. Best pizza in town, bar none. They're from Paramus, New Jersey, a little community not far from where I grew up in New Jersey. And I'll tell you what, they do something with that pizza. I don't know the ingredients well enough, and I'm a purist. Plain cheese pizza. I will also maybe do like a pepperoni. I know a lot of you love the meat lovers or the Supreme. Nope. I just like plain cheese pizza or pepperoni on it. They do meatball. That's pretty good. You know, that's all I want. Just one topping. That's a good question, Terry. I'm going to show you something that we were talking about the other night. Great question. A lot of people, when is the first cold front? You know, we're just beyond the average of a good one that drops us below 80 for the high. Now, we had that one 2 weeks ago that dropped the morning lows to the 50s, very comfortable, drier air. Wasn't so much the colder air, but definitely drier is more comfortable. But look at how late it was last year, October 5th, before we got that cold front, where we dropped below 80 for a high. Then you can see it's usually mid to late October for less than 70, and so on and so forth, even into December for those real big cold fronts where we get the polar vortex. You know, I did read today, speaking of December and January, about what the projection is with the La Nina winter. Now, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, aka NOAA, says there's about a 70 to 75% chance that La Nina goes into full swing for the winter. Stays, you know, it's kind of underway now. And that's why we're still expecting some pretty decent tropical activity. But with the La Nina in place, like we're expecting, the southern United States should stay warmer than average and drier than average. Warmer, drier. So that means less of a chance we see snow. That's one thing for sure. Less of a chance. But here's what's interesting. As I say that, again, Mother Nature has a great way of, you know, humbling us weather guessers. When we say things like that, and we say that, you know, there's a better chance of snow this season, or there's a less chance, like it is this year with a La Nina. You know, if you're warmer than average, if you're drier than average, obviously, for logical reasons, less chance you'll see snow. The two biggest snowstorms in this city's history were in La Nina winters. 1986 or 1985 and 2021. Both were La Nina winters. So that's when Mother Nature's like, yeah, so much for your little adorable La Nina forecast there, pal. I've got something for you. Notice the rain today, a little bit. It was mostly sea breeze driven, so once we lost the heat, we lost the rain. And a few of these downpours did make it up into the city. Converse had some real good rain. We showed some of that video at 6 o'clock. But moving forward, I don't expect much. In fact, there it is. The 7-day rain forecast is 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch tops. Hey, Lise, good to see you. I heard we were a red state, but this is ridiculous. That's a good one. That's funny. My comments always come too late. No, you're good. Love you too, Gabriella. Good to see you. So, yeah, I think maybe a little bit tomorrow. I mean, we're not expecting much of anything more than we saw today. Sea breeze showers that would be isolated, just coming in off that flow from the Gulf of Mexico, because look at how dry this atmosphere remains, especially now the Gulf of Mexico. Big clockwise rotation around that high. You can really see it now. And that's one of the reasons tropical systems really have trouble moving this far west. Once they get into the Gulf of Mexico, steering currents usually keep them east. 3 systems of interest. You see the yellow out in the Atlantic. That means low probability that we see that develop. But this system, now 40% chance in the next 5 days that we've got a named storm right here. Western Caribbean, just kind of hugging the Yucatan Peninsula and then into the Gulf of Mexico. The early models take it on a right turn and into the eastern Gulf for a Florida storm rather than west and for a Texas storm. But it's way too early. This would probably unfold by the end of the month, though. Excuse me. Tony, Tamina, what's going on, guys? I did. Beautiful moonshots. Thank you so much. Hey, how you doing? For that Jersey accent. I didn't even do it too much. You're probably hearing a little bit. In fact, I was talking over there to Megan Rayner. Megan Rayner's got a good friend from New Jersey. Her fiance's from New Jersey. So some good people. It's nice to see you. Having a little coffee on a Thursday night. Thursday. 1, 2, 3, 4. Daniela, how you been? What's going on? Here's to Daniela. Glad you're here. I've been good. I appreciate you asking. All right, so the names. We got through the first column. We had a Category 4, Beryl, made it up to 4 status. Alberto and Chris were both tropical storms. Debbie was a Cat 1. Ernesto and Francine, both Cat 2s. Gordon, a tropical storm. So we're awaiting Helena. Helena Isaac Storm. That's a really good book about the storm of 1900. It was the deadliest hurricane in history. 6,000 to 8,000 people were killed at Galveston with the hurricane of 1900. So it was before they named storms. Isaac was one of the forecasters with the National Weather Service. And there was a bit of a pride battle between Cuba's office and the U.S. office. You know, Cuba was like, oh, hey, this is going to be worse than you think. And, you know, we got a little prideful saying, oh, well, we think it's not going to be that bad. Yeah, and, you know, again, in 1900, forecasting was very difficult. All right, 14-day forecast. This heat is for real. The final Friday of summer. These are the last 2 days, Friday, Saturday. And they're going to be hot. 98 tomorrow means heat index like today. Today's heat index in San Antonio got up to 106. Please make sure you're hydrating. In fact, at 4 to 5 p.m., the heat index in New Braunfels got up to 112. 112. That's dangerous. So even Saturday, heat index will be around 100. Won't be as high, but because the high is probably going to stop around 95. And then notice on Sunday, the autumnal equinox, Sunday morning, but we'll hit 94. You know, and there's this weak little front. I don't even want to mention it. Shouldn't even mention it. It comes through at the beginning of next week. It's so weak, you can see. We go from 94 to 94. We go to 90 on Wednesday with a 30% chance of a shower if this front lingers, and there's an upper level trough that could come into play there. So that's the next chance of measurable rain. You know, these little showers that we saw today, so quick, maybe 1/10 of an inch if you're lucky. And then we're holding mid-90s heading into the final weekend of September. And notice we get 91 out of Sunday, the 29th. Not too bad, not too bad. Forget about it, right, Tony? Come on, forget about it. You ever see Donnie Brasco where he has, you know, what does forget about it mean? It means, I don't know, forget about it. Johnny Depp plays Donnie Brasco. And let me tell you, Donnie Brasco was the undercover name in the mafia. His real name's Joe Pistone, and he's from Paterson, New Jersey, my hometown. He went to high school with my dad. I'm not lying about this. My dad had the book long before they made the movie. And I was at the house, my parents weren't, and I remember seeing the book on his bookshelf, and I took it with me back up to college. And I said, hey, Dad, you know, when I called him, I said, I want to just tell you, I took that book, My Life in the Mafia, Donnie Brasco. I said, I want to read it. He goes, oh, yeah, great book. He goes, Joe Pistone. He goes, that son of a bitch, he still owes me $2. I said, what? He goes, yeah, we had a bet. He never even paid me. He remembered from high school that Joe Pistone owed him $2. I said, I don't think you can get your $2. That story is phenomenal. He was undercover for like 6 years, nearly destroyed the Bonanno family because the Bonanno family was hit so hard with that takedown and the indictments that a lot of the other families wouldn't trust him after that because this guy infiltrated their family. And I mean, so nobody would do business with the Bonannos for years. And then what brought him back was a scheme with the lottery system up in New York and New Jersey. They were somehow, like, they would contact lottery winners and they would pay them out without having to pay taxes or something. A lot of what the mafia was involved with is hard to understand, how they made money off of it and how they did what they did. It was incredible. There's another great story, not to get too far into it, but once I get going, I was always fascinated with the mafia and what they did in some cases, not all cases. But there's one, Michael Franzese. Great story. This guy goes to jail and surrenders his life to Jesus and starts writing books. One called Blood Covenant tells you all about what it takes to go into a mafia family and everything. And Michael Franzese, at like the age of 30, he had some scheme going with wholesale gas and was like selling gas to gas stations and making insane amounts of money. It was literally like 8 to 10 million like a month or every couple of weeks. It was just off the charts kind of money. Gasoline, I mean, right? I mean, do you get another or more higher demand for something in the United States? And yeah, it was incredible story. But he really turned his life around because his father was in the family. His father died in prison, and he turned his life around. God turned his life around. All right, enough about the mafia. All right, I'd love to watch a documentary. Right? There's some good ones, but a lot of the true stories. I mean, Henry Hill and the story of Goodfellas. A lot of that was true. But Donnie Brasco was very true. I mean, I watched the movie, and they kept it pretty close to the book. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. One decent rain chance, as you can see, it's next Wednesday. God bless you too, Tony. God bless you, brother. You, Antamina, and your whole family. All right, guys, we will see you on Ken's 5 News at 10. Have a good night.